Welcome back to Benny's Take. I'm your girl Benny, and child, I have been quiet on YouTube because my camera died, okay? My camera died, but my husband surprised me with the camera. We celebrated our anniversary and he got me a whole camera. And so now I'm learning how to utilize it, which is why I've been late with a lot of, my videos and a lot of my reactions. I have no storage on my phone. For those of you being like, you should have just recorded it on your phone. I have no storage, okay? Apple is trying to play my face. All right, I already paid to have extra storage, but for some reason I still don't be having storage. So I had no storage, and I didn't feel like watching all these videos and all these shows and not have nothing to say about them because I literally could not. So now that I have a camera, I'm like, let me catch up. We are talking about Love is Blind, okay? Baltimore style. Down there in D.C., where Biden and them be. That's what we're talking about, and this season is a mess. I have only watched episode 1 and 2. I literally wanted to save this reaction until Monday, but I cannot help myself. So we're going to talk about this like really quickly. All right, so I'm going to watch the remaining ones so that I can get you guys the second one, the second review for Monday. So we're going to try to roll this out as soon as possible. I'm hoping that I can just edit this tonight as well and put it out for tomorrow morning or something. But this one is going to be initial reaction. So the first thing I saw, we had that the black guy. I saw a little bit of, body diversity. It's good to see a man that's not tall, crazy built, muscles and everything. So we had this man, I think his name is like Tamar, I don't know. Pastor Tamar, that's what I'm going to call him. That man, the black guy, he was a little, I don't want to say bulky, but he was a little on the thicker side, okay? And men need representation too. Men need to see themselves because the average man isn't 6 feet. The average man isn't all that. So I was excited for that. And then we never got to see him again. That baby's in like an episode and a half. And I'm like, why I allowed him to come only to not show his story, right? So I was annoyed about that. So that's the first thing that I said. So a couple more black women. We have Ashley, I believe. And we have, let me just go through this because I'm going to butcher their names. So my first initial reaction for Ashley A, she's a marketing director. I did not like the comment that she made about being 30 and being on the clearance rack. She said something along the lines of like, we're talking through the clearance rack. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to sell that narrative that because you're getting older that somehow you're on the clearance rack. I would argue the opposite. Right, like you're aging like fine wine. You know what I'm saying? Like women get better with time. Okay, so I did not like that comment at all. But otherwise, very gorgeous. We love a gorgeous black woman. Always we stand. Okay, face gorgeous, body gorgeous, personality gorgeous. She seems very funny, very educated. I love how she's just like sitting to herself and not doing the most. Whenever these men are complimenting her, she's just like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not leading this man into where she wants them to be. She's just, like, taking it all as they're saying. And then she ended up making comments about, like, how she really wants to be married. She saw her parents be divorced. If you see, I'm looking at my notes. So this is why I'm looking at my phone. But she wants her parents, she saw her parents be divorced. She really trying to be married. And I'm like, I get that. But at first it sounded to me like a lot of pressure, right? A lot of pressure to put on yourself to be married. So I was like, I'm not really sure about that. But we kept watching. Then we have Tyler. Tyler's the guy, he loves to cook. I love that he admitted that he was nervous. This is a guy that I think has made a connection with Ashley A. I believe there's another Ashley. I love that he led with, hey, I'm really nervous. I'm really like, a little bit more shaky. My anxiety is getting the best of me. Instead of just going in there and pretending to be macho and then be stammering, just like talking nonsense. It's okay to be vulnerable. As men, it is okay to be vulnerable. Just like it's okay for you to not be the tallest or the fittest. It is okay for you too to show up vulnerably. So I really, really appreciated that. His mom, was a single mom from Serbia. Who's, he lost a lot of things in his life. And, grandmother had cancer. Just like he's experienced a lot of loss. And I appreciated him for sharing that. But then eventually started feeling to me like, okay, I hope you guys are not trauma bonding. Because if you watch a lot of my reviews for even the UK one, I did say things along the lines of like, dang, like I felt as though a lot of these candidates were just like trauma bonding. Or you see, my mommy died. My own father, he himself, he died. Oh, no. My cousin died. And then my daddy left me. And then my mommy also left me. I'm adopted. You know that it just was giving a lot of, I have trauma, you have trauma, we connecting over the trauma. I always find it weary for when people connect on a lot of the bad things that happen to them. Like when you're trauma bonding, I always get weary of that because, again, a relationship needs to be sustained on what you guys have in common, some of the things that you guys can overcome together. I'm not saying that it's not important for you to share, like, you know, the loss that you've experienced or your past. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if that's the focus of why you guys are connecting, it's really not going to lead nowhere because, again, you know, you've experienced those losses already, right? Like, what do we have in common as a couple? How can we come together? What do you like? What can we do together moving forward? And not just, you know, saying like she listened to me when I was talking about my parents, you know, who passed away. Anybody with good sense, okay, would sit and listen to you talk about your parents who passed away. But that doesn't mean you guys may or may not be compatible. You know what I'm saying? So that's just like something I was a little bit more weary on. So now we have this man, Nick Doka. He gonna say, my name is Nick Doka, Doke with an A. And I was just kind of like, okay, I'm glad you went with that because immediately I wanted to say that. So I'm just kind of like, okay, I apologize. Immediately, that's what I wanted to say. His name is pretty funny. It's pretty interesting. So I'm glad that he owned up to that. But to me, he was reading very much like sarcastic. He was reading very flirty. I still don't know about this guy. The only thing I've come up with is that he would have rather been an athlete. I don't know what happened with that or how that affected him. But all I know is that he used to be an athlete and then now he's in real estate. He would have rather been an athlete. What happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds as though your passion really was to be an athlete, but if that didn't work out, what was the reason that it didn't work out? How did that affect you? Again, I'm not saying turn this into a sob story, but I still don't know about this guy. He keeps flirting with everybody, and that seems to be the consensus. Even with the other girls, they're just kind of like, dang, like, we really don't know. This baby is giving us nothing and a half. He's giving flirty, and that's it, and that's all. So that was my impression of him as well. And so now we have Hannah, okay? This baby is 26 years old. And then she's being introduced to us on some, oh, you know, my job was becoming almost like my everything. And I really needed to focus on finding love. So I quit my job to go ahead and find love. Ma'am, you were 26 years old. Why are you on my screen trying to find love? You are 26 years old. Why are you in a rush to find love and to find it on my screen? Ma'am, please, just say you want to increase your Instagram follow count and leave us in peace. At the very least, respect us. You do not have to respect the lashes and the lashes. You do not have to respect them, but please, y'all gonna have to respect us. At 26, you gonna quit your job to go ahead and find love blindly on my screen. Ma'am. Now we have Leo Misamani Arts Dealer. He's the most insufferable person I have ever watched on television. I'm talking about insufferable. I just don't want women to come to me for my money, you know what I'm saying? Because me, I inherited. During the inheritance of the inheritance that Abraham then gave to Jacob, that then passed to Isaac, all of that was given to me because I inherited the inheritance. Did you know that my daddy died of cancer? My mommy died of cancer. My grandpa died of cancer. Okay? Our pet, Kuzo. Okay? Our pet, Kuzo, died of cancer. All of them died of cancer so that I could inherit the inheritance that is inheritable, that has made me money, that is financially acquiring me to be in a position of financial acquisition that consists of me having money, that I now have money for the money that I'm going to be spending on the people who do not have money and the girls that have not wanted me for the money who also have money, but I do not want women to come to me because they want money. Sir, I have never had somebody make me not want to have money. Y'all know how I feel about money. I will stop talking to my siblings right now, okay? To get me a little change. Y'all seen the price of bread? I would do a line of Coke, okay? Y'all know how I feel about my money, but I have never had somebody make me now want to have money than Mr. Leo Ardila, insufferable money maker. It takes a special skill. Like, it really takes a special skill to turn having money into a pity party. You know, I just have money. I'm well off. You know, and I just, sometimes it sucks. I'm just so well off. You know, and I just don't want people to come with me for the money because I just have so much money and it's so hard. Sir, get off my screen. Immediately get off my, insufferable. Insufferable. Oh, I just have money and I don't want the girlies to come to me for having money. Meanwhile, the only thing he talks about is having money. What else do you have? Two things. You have money and your nose goes before you. My God. If my God goes before me, but not more than your nose go before you. You know what I'm saying? It is his nose and the money. And it's just like the money, because, you know, I'm an art dealer, and then he gonna do this whole Italian scene that he done did, and I'm just gonna like, get off my screen. Get off my screen. And then he gonna go on this scene where he was having a date with Hannah. Hannah, Mrs. I'ma quit my job to find love blindly. You know what I'm saying? They was having a date. Why this baby gonna say, so I had a dream, and then in my dream, you know, I'm assuming you're white. Sir, why are you assuming anybody is white on a Love is Blind? You supposed to be blind. Okay? Nobody is white. Nobody is black. Everybody blind. Okay? Everybody blind. Why are you saying you assuming? What are you assuming? You are blind on my screen. Be blind. Get your Bartimaeus on. And then we're gonna meet Brittany. This baby gonna say, you know, she chases the fun. She's only dated athletes and rock stars. She can come over here and make anybody fall in love with her. You know what I'm saying? And then she was on a date. This baby cannot spell physicist. Now, physicist is not the word that you could spell just like on the first try. But why would you lead with, I can't spell physicist? Without my phone, I can't spell physicist. A lot of y'all can't spell. I be reading y'all comments. Okay? I be reading y'all comments. A lot of y'all don't be knowing how to spell. But why would you be on a date blindly? Okay? You gonna say you can't spell physicist. The guy on the other side kick was like, and then she gonna be like, well, one of us has to be smart. Ma'am, you don't even want that to be you. We know it's not you. We know it's not you, but why would you not want that for yourself? I only date athletes and rock stars. I can make any man here seduce me. I can't spell physicist. My sister spell physicist. F-I-Z-I. Hey. Hey. And then got the nerve to be like, oh, a lot of these girlies, they want to be boss babes. I don't want to be no boss babe. I want to be a trophy wife. Ah. Spell trophy. T-R-O-F-I. My sister. Hey. I need me a man that's going to know how to cook. Because the kids going to need some food. Pause. Typically, trophy wives, they tend to be trophied. So that they can do the things while the men are out here doing the things that's going to make them the trophy. How that baby gonna go make the money because you ain't trying to go to your job? That's fine. Every person is allowed to want what they want. I'm not knocking that down. But then if he gonna go out there and manufacture the trophy that you can't spell, okay? If the man, let's calculate. If you want to be a trophy wife, okay, that means you guys to go ahead and get you a man that's going to go out there and manufacture a trophy so that you can be the trophy's wife. If he's out here going to go ahead and become a trophy that you cannot spell, you following the math, carry the 3. Please carry the 3. I know you can't spell, but maybe math can make sense for you, okay? If he gonna manufacture the trophy so that you can be the trophy wife too, how then he supposed to come back home and cook so that the kids can be fed? Calculate for the sense. This is not physics, okay? It is not. I wouldn't bore you with that because you can't even spell physics. But make the math make sense. Brittany. So then we meet Garrett. He's 31. He's the physicist. That's the one who was on a date with Brittany and she couldn't spell physicist. And then now Garrett is on a date with Taylor. Taylor is 21. Taylor is 29. Of all the girlies so far, I'm really liking Taylor. I'm really enjoying Ashley A. I am enjoying this other black girl with curly hair. She was in the military. We're going to talk about her in a little bit. Those are the girlies that I'm enjoying. But Taylor, immediately very smart, very confident, incredibly funny, witty to me, gorgeous, love her, liking her a lot. And then we got Garrett over here, who is a physicist. He's a little bit nerdy, an overachiever, didn't really date much, the whole hullabaloo. So now the conversation of ethnicity gonna come out. Tell me why Garrett, because Taylor was like, oh, I don't want to say my mom's name, because if I say my mom's name, it's gonna give away my ethnicity. Now Garrett gonna come around and talk about, oh, I've only dated white girls. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, personally, I'm white. And it feels like you're being calculated because you're not trying to tell me your ethnicity. Taylor gonna be like, pause. Me and you supposed to be blind. We're not playing hide and seek. We blind. Bartimaeus style. Either you love me blindly or you don't. Where are you confused? This baby stammering. I'm thinking about... This baby stammering. Why are you stammering? You are on my screen blindly. Okay? I feel like every time I got to remind these people that they're doing these things blindly. You are blindly on my screen. Stammering. Stammering that this woman wants you to fall in love with her blindly without her giving you clues as to what her ethnicity is. Ma'am. Not ma'am. Sir. Immediately Yemen. Immediately Yemen. I don't know how you made it to be a physicist because something is loose. How are you lost? As a physicist. As a physicist, Garrett, as a physicist, how are you lost that this baby wants to fall in love with you blindly during an episode of Love is Blind that is streaming on my screen where you people are signing up to fall in love blindly and get married to people that you fell in love with blindly? How are you lost? Garrett, if you want white, go ahead and get you Brittany. Go find Brittany. Okay? She cannot spell physicist, but at least she white. Go ahead and get you some Brittany. The fact that a grown woman had to explain to a grown man who signed up for Love is Blind what it means to find love blindly, immediately Yemen. For this season, we're going to have to go to Yemen a lot. We're going to have to take a couple trips. Okay? A couple trips. So then the next couple that we kind of see forming a little bit is Tim. I think her name is, what's her name? Alex. Alex is very spiritual. She's into astrology. Still not sure what that means because their conversation around religion seems to be very just like broad. I'm not sure what their faith background is, but they seem to connect really well. For me, they also felt a little bit like trauma bonding. Tim shared a lot of just like, a lot of loss that he's experienced, like with both of his sisters passing away. And just, you know, he just lost so much, but he still said that he had such a beautiful childhood, really loves his parents, really loves the memories that he has of his sisters. So I was just kind of like, dang, that's been like such a hard life and that's such a lot of loss. But a lot of their dates that at least we saw, because again, editing can play in these people's faces. I'm well aware of that. But a lot of the editing that we saw for them, it just had a lot to do with, you know, talking about past hurt and past experiences. I'm still not sure who they are as people. I'm still not sure who they are. What's her name? Alex done shared about how, you know, both of her parents struggle with, oh my God, what is that called? Oh, let me see. MS. So basically it's like when, you know, your nerves, what is it? I wrote it down. When it's like your nerves are degenerating over time and you can essentially become crippled, right? There's no cure for it, but there's definitely medication that can help, you know, prolong, you know what I'm saying, delay, you know, you getting your Lazarus on and you getting, you know, crippled and stuff like that. But it is such a terrible thing that obviously, you know, I'm sending love to her family and a lot of people, especially a lot of people in this country experience that. So she shared that, which was also very beautiful and very personal. But outside of that, I don't think I know much else about them as individual. It's just a lot of family trauma, family losses, some of the things that they've gone through. And I'm just kind of like, yes, it's a beautiful thing that you guys are connecting over that. But what are your similarities? You guys align in values. You guys align in like your likes and dislikes. Like, you know, like, can you tell a joke and laugh with each other? What is your favorite movie? Like, I didn't get to see that. So perhaps it's just editing, perhaps not. So then just before we wrap up episode 1, now we have Leo, Mr. Adila, I have money, gonna talk about, this is in the men quarters. This baby is still talking about how much money he has. So not only is he bragging to the girls, he's bragging to the men as well. I have all this money. I have all this money because I have money, you know. I don't want to make it be a problem, but it's just like I just have so much money. I just be having money. And I'm conflicted between Hannah and Brittany, who cannot spell physicists. And it's like I just have so much money. And one of the guys going to say, oh, you know, I wouldn't be able to maneuver or manage with Brittany because, you know, she's going to be expensive. Why Leo, Mr. Adila, have money, gonna say, well, I have money? And I'm like, sir, get off my screen. So then I thought, okay, I'm only seeing a couple relationships forming. Where the rest of the couples? Which brings us to season 2. Immediately we open the screen and we have Steven, I don't know. Steven, we have Steven with Monica. They're on a date and they're talking, and I'm talking about they're saying anything. On one of the scenes, this baby gonna be like, you know what I'm saying, you like people for their, you like people for their things that you like about them or whatever, but you love them for like their flaws. Why Monica gonna turn around and talk about, oh, I just love flaws. Ma'am, do you even know what the flaws are? At least of this man, do you even know? So immediately I'm like, okay, this is not making any sense, but it gets worse. So now we're sitting there, this baby is like, oh, since we're talking about relationships, I have to tell you, you know, I have to divulge some information. She's like, Then this baby gonna start, I have a label on me that I identify as, I'm like, label. You have a label on you, which one is it? This baby gonna say, I identify as a cheater. I'm like, It's not even Adidas. It's not Nike. What's the other one? It's not Gucci. Louis Vuitton. Shein. Who the other brands? Marco Polo. You identify as a cheater. That's the label that you've given to yourself. Now he's sitting like this with one of his legs crossed. Forgive me, I have a belly, so sometimes crossing my leg is hard. Okay? Go judge your papa and worry about the siblings you do not know of. Anyways, so this baby sitting like this. You would think what he's saying is so deep. You know what's so interesting about me is that I slid into her DM and I feel so terrible about it, but I just, you know, I felt so bad. Why Monica gonna sit there and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Ma'am! Why are you sorry? Why are you sorry? He has the label of a cheater, not Nike. You know what I'm saying? Because when people do some labels, it typically be Nikes. Even when they're wearing multiple labels, it be Nike, Louis Vuitton, Adidas, Puma, everything together. None of those. His label is a cheater. It's you that's apologizing. Yemen. Yeah, man. And for this one, I'm not even going to say the people of God need to go with you to help you locate your brain. You have to go on this journey by yourself. Okay? Immediately, Yemen. Your brain is in Yemen. I promise you. Yeah, now, you got to go look. You got to go immediately. Like your life depends on it. And then now we're going to be on another scene. It's Brittany with Leo. I have so much money, Miss at art dealer. And then they're going to talk. And, you know, she crying. I ain't even going to hold you. I don't even be sure what the two of them be talking about. Their conversation just sounds to me like, you know, I just have so much money. And so they like. And then she's like, I just ain't, That's what they sound like to me the whole doggone time. And so they're talking about whatever it is that they were talking about. Why this baby gonna say, from the sound of your voice, I'm assuming a lot of people think you're dumb. And then she's gonna be like, yeah, totally. People really think I be dumb. Brittany. The elevator is just, it's Woo! This baby looks in the eye and he said, from the sound of your voice, people must think you're dumb. You said that and thought he was affirming you. No, he called you dumb. He called you a dumb blonde. You sound like a dumb blonde. That's what that baby was saying. He could have tried to sanitize it and be like, oh, you know, that can actually be a superpower because people will underestimate you and think you're dumb. And then, but technically, you're actually not dumb. But he thought it. He thought it. With everything that you said, you want to be a trophy wife. You don't cook. The man has to go. He thought it. He thought of you as dumb. And it went right over your head. And then under the same breath, while Leo, Mr. Adila, I have money, gonna talk about, oh, you know, when you were coming here, I ain't even gonna hold you, let me be honest, you were literally my number 2. But now, you are number 1. And I'm like, pause, sir. Now I understand you know art. You probably have a lot of coloring books. When you were young, you were coloring, you were drawing like this, I understand. But do you know how numbers work? Do you know how placement works? You got 2 people at number 1. So now Brittany is crying, right? She crying on my screen on a show that's called Love is Blind. We're supposed to find love blindly. And she's sitting in a date with Mr. Leo, art dealer, I got money. She out here crying because now she was number 2, but she's now number 1. But he don't know how his numbers work because he be painting and that's how he got money, right? So now Brittany gonna see, they're gonna talk about, oh, you know what I'm saying? My intuition just told me that with the kind of guy that you are, you probably had like, you know, a pros and cons list and you're keeping a score of all the pros and cons in the list of all the people that you were dating because my intuition told me that. I'm like, man, intuition. They gave all your notebooks and pens to take notes of all the people that you're dating and come up with a list of who's going to be better for you or not. How is that your intuition? How is that your intuition? Oh, it's my gut. My gut was just telling me. Now she's crying. My gut was just telling me. My gut. My sister, perhaps you need probiotics. Okay? That did not come from your gut. Everybody's doing that. You got a notebook with some people in there. Now, you cannot spell physicists, and that's fine. But I'm hoping you keep at least a tally. Okay, a little comparison, compare and contrast. Everybody's taking notes. This does not make Leo deep. It don't. So then we have Taylor and Garrett who ended up talking about kids in like a little scene that they have, a little date that they had. She talks about how much she respects him and she can see him in her future and all that stuff. And, you know, he talks about looks again. But this time around, I actually have to admit, I did like his answer because looks matter. A lot of these people sit over here and they pretend that, oh, we just going to be blind. We just going to be blind. No, looks matter. It really does matter. So I did like that answer. But again, this whole cast... So then we have this other couple that I see for the first time. Actually, we have this guy. I forget his name. I just wrote him down as Mr. Onion. Mr. Onion, when we see him in one of his confessionals, this baby gonna say, from the start, people can look at me and think I'm just like a regular white guy who grew up with, you know, all these rich parents and all that stuff. But that's actually far from that, because I'm from Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? And I was, I think, adopted or something by a Filipino man or something like that. So I just, you know, I'm not like the regular white. And I'm just kind of like, don't nobody be wanting to be more ethnically diverse than white people. I'm talking about they're going to do Ancestry.com just to find something that ain't going to make them white. You is white. So what that mean? Because you're the daddy that adopted you Filipino, now you what? You Filipino too? It's okay to be white. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. It's all right. It really is all right. And then we see him on the date with this other girl. I'm forgetting her name. Like her name, I'm just drawing a blank. This baby gonna ask like, oh, what is your whatchamacallit, your party story? So I'm thinking like, oh, this baby about to say like, you know, we got drunk, we flipped some things. Like I'm just thinking something funny, right? Like, or something light that happened. This baby gonna talk about a story with the camel that was out here doing some things and he almost died. And then when he was in Ukraine, he almost died again. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of sad, soppy stories. Again, I'm not invalidating them. But a party question, really? That's what you tell the people at parties? Oh, look, me, I almost got my Lazarus on, but I'm also not regular white. I'm Ukraine white. So then the date is like, wow, I can't top that. Because what you supposed to say to a man that almost died twice? One with the camel and one in Ukraine. But he's not regular white, he's Ukraine white. What do you do with that? Again, a lot of trauma bonding. Y'all just saying anything. And then he decided to go back to Ukraine during the war to go ahead and fight for his people because he's actually from Ukraine. But he's not regular white, he Ukraine white. With the Filipino daddy and his whole family that respected his bravery and, you know, his patriotism, even though he's not regular white, he's Ukraine white. You know what I'm saying? So he had to go to Ukraine and fight for the regular white people. You know what I'm saying? But he's not regular white, he's Ukraine white. And so then all of a sudden he starts to cry. And I'm just like, why are you crying? Like, what? And then out of nowhere, now he's on Love is Blind. What a journey. What a journey. What a journey. Very deep. You know, very diverse. So then we see Alex and Tim, and the two of them, they're still trauma bonding to me, but it feels like they're solidifying their relationship. Kudos to them. Very, very beautiful people. We love black people. We love to see black love all the time. You know, I'm always going to be down for that. And then we see Ramses, this guy with like curly hair and all. Like, he's just, you know, he's giving me Trader Joe's. You know what I'm saying? He's giving me, you know, we be down there at the bushes and, you know, twerking to release our anger. That's what he's giving to me. And the sound of his voice, it just was like... Anyway, I'm going to just say Trader Joe's. So it's just giving very much Trader Joe's. So if you know a look of Trader Joe's, the guys that be shopping at Trader Joe's, that's that look. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. He be shopping at Trader Joe's. And so we see him... on a date with Marisa. Marisa is the girl that I was drawing a blank on. She's the girl that was on another date with, Ukraine white. So she was on the date with Ukraine white, and we see her with the date with, Trader Joe's. So she's forming a connection with Trader Joe's, and she's also forming a connection with Ukraine white. We found out that Marisa is in law school, divorced parents. You know, she loves love, gorgeous, all the things. So I'm trying to see what that's going to happen. Again, I've only watched till season 2, episode 2. Do not ruin this for me. And then we see Taylor and Garrett. And so Taylor does this thing. At this point, they're not boyfriend and girlfriend. He sends her notes on like, you know, say yes or whatever the case is, was cute. And then the next scene, we see them in the pods. And she done brought the letters from like, you know, her grandpa and all the stuff. He was very sentimental. She was like reading these like personal family, stories on the TV for this man. And comment down below and let me know. Maybe I'm just built different. It was beautiful. However, comment period, I don't think she should have done that. It was beautiful, but I don't think she should have done that. For one, again, I've said this in the previous episodes, I love when a man leads the direction of the relationship. When women wear their sleeves, their emotion on their sleeves way too much, okay, you have these men who are giving them nothing and a half, and they're carrying the relationship emotionally. One, I love a man that's going to give the stance for the relationship. This is what we're doing. This is how we're moving with what they're saying and how they're leading. I personally, it's my channel, so I can say what I want. This is my take. I'm Benny, and this is my take. Okay? That's just what I think. And also, too, these are personal and very intimate parts of your family. Why would you give this to this stranger? I never really understood why people do this. Because the reality is, if you guys are so in love, so blindly in love, wait until you get married. After you guys have gotten married, when the cameras are gone, share these moments. Because not for nothing, not only did you give this stranger on your screen or on your wall this information, too, you done given the rest of the world some sacred and valuable moments of your family that now people can sit over here and dissect and give opinions to and say all the things. And I don't like that. Personally, I don't like that. I'm not taking away from the beautiful moments, and I'm not saying women should not express themselves, but I'm just like, there has to be boundaries. Because if you've been watching Love is Blind, you know a lot of them end in divorce. You know a lot of them, they stop being in love. As soon as their eyes open like this, oh, the Bartimaeus is gone. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing with Bartimaeus, as soon as he met Jesus, his eyes was open like this. And these people, when their eyes open like this and they see each other, oh, the love, the blind love, gone. AKE, gone. Just gone. So to do all this and then share the most intimate and valuable moments of not just your life, but of your family, girl, no. No. Mm-mm. 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 And especially not for a dude that was like, I need to know, because I've only dated white girls, okay? If you white, there's something for you. If you're not white, there's nothing for you. That baby literally told you he likes white girls. That's not who you do this for. You don't do this at all. But in my opinion, that's not who you do this with. But alas, here we are. So now we're on a date with Steven and Monica. This baby has already told us that he owns the label. He wears the label of being a cheater. Monica apologized, okay? Monica apologized and thanked him for his honesty and his authenticity, because this baby was sitting like this, okay? That's how that baby was sitting. So Monica apologized. Monica apologized to a white man who wears the label of a cheater. Not the cheater that be running around like this here with Prince. No. He just be crossing. Every canal he be crossing. He wears the label of a cheater, and you apologize. So now we're on this date. She asked him who you done voted for. This is where we're going to say he identifies as a white. Voted for Trump the first time, but not the second time, because, you know, his first time it wasn't, his decision was not educated. Okay. Okay. Then he gonna say his daddy is very Republican and his daddy only gonna vote Republican regardless. You are sitting there as a black girl. You could calculate with all the different things that you mix with, but you are not white. He identifies as white. He's telling you he voted for Trump. His daddy only votes Republican. Nothing about that rings plantation to you. As you will calculate, nothing about that red to you like cotton. They will turn you into a house Negro, my sister, run. They will turn you into a house Negro, my sister, run, but she's not running, she's sitting there, enamored. Oh my gosh. Hey! He identifies as white, but what's interesting about his ethnicity is that his mommy done told him that they was Italian. So he grew up thinking he real cool, man, Italian, he got a little swag on him. You know what I'm saying? Italian seasoning, oregano, okay, basil, tomatoes, fresh, okay? That was the seasoning that he had going on. Cool. And then lo and behold, beholding the laws, his sister's gonna go ahead and go to Ancestry.com. Okay? You know why? Because white people, they don't want to be white anymore. Hey! Don't nobody want to be white no more. Why? You people, you don't want to be white anymore. Hey. Hey. I didn't know it. You people, you don't want to be white. Why are you on the Ancestry? You are white. Be white now. You people, you don't want. Come to find out our good brother is actually Congolese Nigerian. Frère Steve Mutombo Ikechukwu. Mutombo. Mwana mama mujinga na nzela kuna mwana mama mujinga. Benaka seki baluba. Steve, ndoka zane muluba. Benaka seki. Hey. Then this baby gonna have the nerve to talk about, oh, in his gut, he knows, he's just feeling it. It's just like a gut feeling that he's feeling that Monica is the one for him. Because meanwhile, while this baby is discovering that he's in fact Congolese Nigerian, okay, Mr. Ikechukwu himself, Ikechukwu, while that baby is discovering all this thing, why Monica praising him for his vulnerability and his authenticity and how we should not be in a box during the box of the ballots that she had to choose when she was younger, the box of identification that identified the identities of the identifier. She was praising him for his authenticity. Frère Mutombo, mwana mama mujinga. Mwana mama mujinga. Mutombo, mwana mama mujinga, Steve. And then he gonna have the nerve to talk about, oh my God, what's your gut? Are you sure it's not a goosey? Because you are Nigerian. Are you sure it's not a goosey? Are you sure it's not pondu? Because you are part Congolese and Nigerian. Are you sure it's not pondute? Po fumbe ko leki soli boom. Fumbe ko leki soli boom. It's not your gut, it could be fumbwa. It's a goosey that will make your stomach run like this. It's not your gut. She sits there eating it up. Bow your head. It's not even in Yemen. This is spiritual warfare. Bow your head, Monica, Father God. Oh, release her brain. Oh my God, the sensibilities of her brain. Release it. Rikamasi, let it be so. Let it be so. And please, reunite Mutombo with his people. Mutombo Ikechukwu, reunite him. So the other scene that we see is Ashley and Tyler, they're on their date. And together, they're trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, like, get something to eat. They're talking and they're talking good. Why Tyler gonna be like, oh, I done wrote a prayer for the food. So I'm like, okay. Love you, sweetheart. You are writing prayers for the food. Love is so sweet. God bless this food. Let this be a nourishment to our bodies in Jesus' name. Amen. This one we had to write it. When you are in love, you write prayers. Me, I'm jealous. I have never been so blindly in love that I was going to write the prayer for food. You are in love, oh. Me, I'm here for the love. These people were in love. She said they were like, And I'm like, sis, he wrote in his journal a prayer for food. Sis, y'all are doing some blind love shit. Like, it's just, When you're in love, you do some things. You do some things. Let me call my husband, because that baby don't love me enough. He ain't never. Okay, that baby ain't never running his journal for prayer. For the food. So episode 2 ends with Garrett and what's her name? Taylor or something. They're about to do a little reveal. And they ended like that. I guess they're trying to build like the whole hullabaloo of like, is he gonna find her attractive? Is she like, okay. I don't care. Alright? I care, but I don't. I'm gonna see y'all later. I'm tired. This season is crazy. Okay, this season is crazy. All right, I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. And I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Bye, Z.